number one. Karate for defense only. Eh? Rule number two. Fast run rule number one.
Hello and welcome to The Road to Karate Kid Legends, our look back at the beloved martial arts franchise before we experience the unlikeliest of crossovers. I'm Ashley Hoblet, and joining me today is Dylan Blight.
Cobra Kai never dies.
That's true. Today, we are talking about Season 1 of Cobra Kai. The spin-off series to The Karate Kid, taking place 20 years later? 30 years later? A lot of years later. Yeah. Which debuted on YouTube Red. Remember that?
Yeah.
What a world we live in. Yeah, so please be aware we'll be freely discussing anything and everything about plot themes at any of the first season of the show. With that said, let's jump into discussing Cobra Kai.
Johnny? I knew it was you. This is Johnny Lawrence. He and I go way back.
Oh, this is the guy whose ass you kicked.
If you want to get technical, I kicked his face.
Hey, where you going, Kamen? Oh, I didn't know you guys were trying to buy beer. Hey! Watch your car, man. Get the hell out of here, loser.
Was that like Taekwondo or something?
It's karate.
Do you think you could teach me?
I'm driving home from work yesterday, and in this strip mall, I see... After 30 years, I thought that guy might have changed, but he's still the same prick. I heard you beat up a bunch of teenagers.
I didn't beat up any teenagers. I kicked the crap out of a bunch of assholes who deserved it.
Thinks he could bring Cobra Kai back to the valley? Yeah. Not on my watch.
You want those kids at school to keep dumping things on your head? You want all the girls to think you're a wangless dork?
You're gonna be my karate teacher?
No. I'm gonna be your sensei.
First released May 2nd, 2018. Created by Josh Heald, John Hurwitz, Hayden Schlossberg. Based on The Karate Kid by Robert Mark Kamen, starring Ralph Macchio, William Zabka, Courtney Henggeler, Xolo, Maridueña, Tanner Buchanan, and Mary Mouser. Dylan, we originally were tasked with watching only the first 2 episodes of Cobra Kai. And then you told me, hey, I watched the whole first season.
Yeah, I didn't quite finish it.
Oh, you didn't quite finish.
No.
Yeah. So what do you think of Cobra Kai?
I'm loving it. And if I didn't have to stop to watch other things and do other things, I'd happily sit here and binge all of it. And I'm not sure why I didn't watch it when it came out. Probably because it was on YouTube Red, to be completely honest. I think in the perspective of, like, I've got, I think, 2, 3, I've got 3 episodes left of the first season. I think quality wise, so far, this is better than any of the movies. Is my hot take, potentially. I think the first movie, well, the trilogy as a whole, but especially the first movie, I think is still very good, and it was talked about, shows its age a bit and stuff like that. But most of my love for that and its 2 sequels is definitely like nostalgia ridden from watching them as a kid. But I think if I'm like watching all of these in a row and just going from like a storytelling perspective, I think what they're doing here is just the most engaging thing we've watched on this watch along so far.
Yes. So pretty much what happened was
you finished.
You said you watched. You said you finished the season, so I was like, I'll watch the first few episodes, and all of a sudden I'd finished the entire season in one night.
Yeah, that adds up.
Is what happened.
It's very easy to keep watching. Yeah.
Well, they're quite short, which helps. They're only like 30-ish minutes.
Mm-hmm. It's 100% your type of show too.
It is, teen drama and depressed people. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, we obviously are following Johnny Lawrence, what,
The
30
hero
years
of the-
after he lost to
The
Daniel
hero of the
LaRusso.
story versus that evil Daniel LaRusso.
Evil Daniel, who stole his girl
Mm-hmm.
and beat him with an illegal crane kick
Yep.
in the final.
Mm-hmm.
And how his life has gone downhill ever since.
Mhm.
And it kind of retextualizes, I guess, the original film.
From a certain point of view, you know?
From a certain point of view, Johnny Lawrence had a dysfunctional home life with a stepfather who didn't care for him at all and just gave him money to make him do stuff, and he joined karate, joined Cobra Kai to find a sense of belonging, I guess. But now it's 30 years later, and Johnny Lawrence has not developed with the times. He is still very much that 18-year-old stuck in the 80s. The world passing him by. He gets fired from his job in the first episode. He's got a son that he doesn't have any sort of connection to. And after his car gets nearly totaled by a bunch of teenage girls who do a hit and run, he reunites with Daniel LaRusso, who's now a famed car salesman throughout the Los Angeles, through the valley, with
They
multiple
chop
dealerships.
prices.
He chop prices. His karate thing is like
Get a
it's
free,
stuck.
get a free,
Get a free bonsai tree
of every purchase.
with every purchase. Yeah. So I guess after not seeing each other for 30 years, it seems like that was the gist. They talk about, I forgive you. We're all good. Kind of making fun of Johnny, and then he decides, I'm going to open up Cobra Kai. And that's the premise of the show. Starting off with one student, his neighbor, Miguel Diaz, who becomes his protege. He becomes his Daniel. And he teaches him the ways of Cobra Kai that he learned from John Kreese, which, no mercy, strike to kill, all that kind of stuff. And he gets a cult following amongst these kids when Miguel shows off his karate abilities against the school bullies and that kind of stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying all the dynamics on all the levels, I'm enjoying the rivalry between Daniel and Johnny, which seems like it will come together at one point. Seems like, oh no, you haven't seen the entire thing, sorry.
Well, I know John Kreese shows up at some point in the first season, but he doesn't. I assume it like the finale or something, probably.
Yeah, I think that's fairly safe to say. Yeah. Obviously, all building up to the latest edition of the All Valley Under 18s Karate Championships. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I think Miguel's a great character who maybe embraces the John Kreese thing a little bit too much towards the Cobra Kai thing towards the end. But I enjoyed a lot of the other characters. Hawk.
Yeah,
fucking Hawk. Just just the development from him being this kid with a deformed lip to becoming a crazy dude with a mohawk, who then gets a massive hawk back tattoo. Bizarre. But yeah, him embracing the lessons of Johnny Lawrence crazily. And I think everyone's really doing some stellar work. And then you've also got the story of Johnny's son, who starts working for Daniel in order to get back at his dad.
At first, yeah.
But then becomes almost Daniel's Daniel.
Yeah.
As he begins to teach him karate because he wants to get back into karate to not be angry all the time, I guess. After Johnny draws a giant dick on his billboard. It's an instigating incident between
that was a
their rivalry going again. So, have you got any standout characters or moments that you've watched so far?
I think the fights, like so far, have been good. That was saying. I'm hoping assuming the competition stuff will be as good. But yeah, I mean, especially considering the first two seasons of YouTube Red, I think the overall production value I've been quite impressed with. I mean, all in all, I've been very impressed with the show. To be honest, I know you hear people say it was good and everything, but I think just in my mind, I was like, "Oh, I'll be YouTube Red." Like it's just like,
It's like, oh, it's one of these teen shows that the kids don't know any better.
yeah,
It's got this weird cult following, so that kind of thing.
But yeah, no,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I was very quickly pulled in that first episode, and that's how I initially ended up watching more. I sat down to watch the first episode, I ended up watching like 3 episodes in a row, so not as bad as your whole season, but yeah, very quickly just was like, just went one more sort of thing. Yeah, all the characters super, like, I'm into them, and I think if I was to say like standout character, honestly it's probably just Johnny Lawrence. I think William Zabka is very good. Just with the playing into the the stuff, it's like, fuck you, we listen to some Guns N' Roses, man, or something like like all the like 80s references. As like his center point to what's cool is so off. But like the first time they get girls can't do karate, man. Like, why? She's a girl. Like, just like he does such a good job at playing the, like, you're like, so many times you're just like, what are you, like, your hand, like, what are you saying, man? But then like he's so likable at the same time, you're rooting for him.
Yeah, I mean, that's really good. And then he rips into the nerds for the first time and kind of loses them. I mean, yeah, what's her name? Aisha, the girl in the Cobra Kai.
The first girl,
The first girl who embraces it and just smashes the shit out of Miguel in that first fight. That's really delightful.
Punches everyone in the face.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's the Miguel fight at the high school. He takes out all the bullies. It's like Cobra Kai. That's really good. Were there any callbacks that you were impressed by?
No, I think the thing is knowing. I'm intrigued to go along because so far I've enjoyed how they've placed the clips and stuff like that. Like, I don't feel like it's over reliant on references and throwbacks and what. Like, it's all felt like natural in the way it's come together. But knowing, as we discussed in the last few movies, as I've like looked up the actors as I've been watching them and seeing they've had like a few episodes here and there of this show, I'm intrigued to see how like that maybe changes or doesn't change, or they do such a good job at bringing everyone back that it maybe doesn't matter. But I can currently see how John Kreese comes back into it. That makes perfect sense to me at this point. But as we continue, I'll be intrigued to how all these like bit characters from, like the bad guy from the second movie, like how the fuck does he end up back here? But like all the
yeah. I mean, I think it's like little things like they've got Johnny gives Miguel his same Halloween costume that he had when he was in high school.
But it doesn't feel like as much as a callback as like, of course that's what he would give him. Like it doesn't feel as
that kind of stuff. I dress him up, and then obviously like hearing Johnny's side of the story, like telling Miguel like why Dylan LaRusso is a shit. I think it's really interesting also that they kind of paint Daniel as the villain. Not like super hard, because I think it's like no one's really the bad guy, I guess.
But it's definitely painted as well, especially like when you have scenes where he's like Johnny's like pleading his case to the board to be allowed into competition, and Daniel's there like, well, case closed, like he shouldn't be allowed in, like.
It's like, yeah, I'm shutting this down as quick as possible.
Yep.
Or when he's like, yeah, I raised the rent on everybody, so you wouldn't be able to afford to run Cobra Kai.
Stuff like that, and it affects everyone else in the
the shopping mall.
Shopping mall, yeah.
Very messed up. So, yeah, really enjoy the show. I mean, the other thing is his daughter, like being one of the cool girls at the start of the season, and then quickly realizing that scene.
Yeah, I thought that was good because I was like, oh god, here we go. This season, this story's going to get strung out for how many seasons are going to take her to realize these people are terrible.
No, but
and then
realize
it took like 5 episodes. So I was like, oh okay,
thank God. Yeah. And I didn't like his son for a long time. Starting to grow on me.
He's just doesn't want to do anything but play video games.
Yeah, play Vita.
Yeah, fair enough.
Alexa, buy me a PlayStation.
Yeah, that was funny. Alexa, don't.
Too late. It's in the mail. Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about from the show? Okay.
No, just I think overall I was just super shocked, and it's definitely like I feel like you can tell something is good when I think especially more so a TV show than a movie, because especially like if you've had like 6 seasons and 6 years to jump into it and catch up and whatever else, but like now that's done and dusted, that you finally watch the first season, and it's a good sign when you're like, man, I should have jumped into this earlier. Like,
Yeah. I guess the other thing is, how much do you think Daniel's going to play a role in the next film, and how much do you think there'll be any references to this in that?
Very minimal, to be honest. That's what I 100% view that movie as more of a Kung Fu Kid 2 than a sequel to this or continuation of this. We'll see. But I mean, obviously we haven't watched all 6 seasons. I mean, we do. It's a known thing they delayed that movie so the Cobra Kai could have its final season.
Yeah,
like they'd filmed the movie, but they delayed its release for Cobra Kai to wrap up first. So,
yeah, maybe it does tie in.
But it's set like years later. I think they said also like it's set a couple of years or at least a year after the finale of Cobra Kai. So,
interesting. So, yeah. Let us know what you think of Cobra Kai. Do we need to finish watching all 6 seasons?
Are you gonna? You're 100% gonna finish watching.
I will find a way.
Yeah,
it's probably. Maybe not all at once. But over the next year, I'll probably finish watching it all. What a season finale. Yeah, let us know by finding us on Blue Sky at explosionnetwork.com, or find us on other social media at ExplosionPod. If you want to help us out here at What Do You Want to Watch, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser, leave us 5 stars, and you can leave 5 stars, or just tell people about the show. And if you enjoyed this episode, thoughts worth $1, head on over to our coach page at explosionnetwork.com/support. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time, Cobra Kai, never die.